Hi, this is Brian Fogarty, and this is a video for Quantitative Social Science Data with R, second edition. This is a video for the Chapter 5. So in this video, what we're going to do is we're going to look at rearranging values in a categorical variable. This is something we commonly need to do, especially because by default, variables that are read in, so when R reads in data, by default it will arrange the values alphabetically, which we saw in an earlier video for this chapter, but let's look at it again. So we're going to look at the VF problem variable from the VF England data set. Alright, so again, this has already been read in. Let's take another look at it using the count function. Alright, so VF problem. Alright, so we see that this is ordered alphabetically, even though it should be ordered, from strongly disagree to strongly agree, or vice versa. That works as well. So right now, if we just use this variable, even though sort of substantively it's actually an ordinal variable, how it's organized, the categories, it's actually a nominal. So we want to reorder these, rearrange the values so that it's ordinal. So let's do it. We will, we're going to create a new variable to add to VF England. All right, so I'm going to save it as a new object, or it's not a new object, just the same object, the VF England. VF England, and then piping, and then we'll use the mutate function because we're going to create a new variable here. So we have VF problem, we'll just call it 1. All right, and then we're going to use the factor function, which is actually from base R. There's a version in the forcats package, which is part of tidyverse, which is FCT, and there's only a couple differences. One of the differences is that the base R factor, if you don't specify all the labels, the categories, the levels in the variable, it assumes that those are missing. The forcats FCT version requires you to specify everything. All right. So we have we have factor and then VF problem. All right, and then what we're going to do is we're going to use this option called levels, which just means the category. So what we're going to do is organize the labels, the values, how we want them. This is a very manual process and not a ton of fun. That is for sure. It is not a ton of fun. Okay, so we have 7 of them. So we want them all to be together. So we have to use the concatenate function C. So we're going to do strongly disagree. All right, disagree, comma, slightly. Oops. Slightly disagree. You got to make sure that all the cases and spelling it and everything line up. Otherwise it won't work, or it'll give you an error saying like can't find it. All right, neither agree nor disagree. You could, one of the things is you could do this once and just save it and use it again. All right, slightly agree, comma, agree, and then finally strongly agree. All right, I think that looks right. Nope. See, I knew it. I knew something felt wrong. All right, so this can't be capitalized because then it won't work. All right. Let's highlight that and run that. All right, so we got no errors, but let's check it out. I'm just going to steal this code from above, paste it down here so we don't have to type it again. All right, we do that. All right, so now we see that it goes strongly disagree, disagree, slightly disagree, neither, slightly agree, agree, strongly agree. Ta-da! So we have accomplished what we wanted to or needed to. All right. Again, what we could do if we're doing a whole bunch of these, so like let's say we have survey data and there's tons of variables that are these kind of agree, disagree, or something like that, what we could do is actually create an object that contains this. I show this in the chapter. We'll just look at it real quick here because we can cut a lot of it. So let's say we're going to save an object. We're going to call it agree levels. And then what I'm going to do is just steal this. Probably need to clean it up a little because I think there's only one. Yeah, there's only one open. Make this a little prettier by pulling that back. We just have one open. All right. So let's do this. See, we have it right here. Okay. And then I'm going to copy this and let's create a new version via problem 2 where we will, okay, hold on a second. So I just pasted that in. I'm going to change VF problem 1 to VF problem 2. And then instead of all this, hold on a second. We're going to do that, and we're going to do agree levels. All right, let's make sure we have the correct closed parentheses. So 1, 2. All right, looks good. Run that. Did not get an error. I'm going to copy this, and paste this, so we don't have to type it again, and change 1 to 2. See, it worked. So again, you're going to have to type it once, or at some point in your life, you're going to have to type it once. But if you're going to use it a bunch, then it might make sense to save it as an object that you can just use again. All right. Another thing that's super, super useful if you are working with categorical, these factor variables that are, somewhat symmetric, there's a function that allows us to flip the values, so reverse the values. So instead of needing to type it again and flipping them, we can use a function called fct_rev, R-E-V. So let's say that instead of VF problem 2 going from strongly disagree to strongly agree, we wanted to reverse it, so it goes from strongly agree to strongly disagree. Excuse me. So what we can do is create a new variable with this. All right, so I'm just going to type this in. So VF England, save that. We're going to be adding this. So VF England, and then the piping, mutate. Let's call this VF problem 3 equals, and then FCT rev, and then what we're flipping. So VF problem 2. Okay, let's see, I think that looks right. Didn't get an error. I'm going to steal this, paste it down here. And we have VF problem 3. Ta-da! All right, so we see that the values now are flipped. We can compare it. You look at the labels, but also the ends here, and it all looks good. All right, so that is it for this video on looking at how to rearrange values. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.